Hey team, I got a new toy. And no, it's not this old expired propane tank that I emptied out, and I really regret not lighting it on fire. A, partially because of the cool footage, and B, because my yard smelled like a skunk for 2 weeks. It's a plasma cutter, yeah. So I found this for $600 at KMS Tools, and I got the welding cart for $80, and $700 all in. I'm cutting steel like Luke Skywalker. It's awesome. So I did have troubles at the beginning, and it was because of my power. So I had my good buddy Dave come over and hook me up with a 50 amp plug coming from the house. I already had some power there. I just needed a bigger plug. So he hooked me up, and I was cutting a lot more consistently after that. And don't worry, I filled this tank up with water after I exited the fumes or the propane, and just to make sure there was no explosions when I started cutting into this. So I've always wanted to make a fire pit out of this old propane tank, but I just never knew the design. And then eventually I decided, well, I'm going to cut it in half lengthwise and make two, because what's better than one? It's two for sure. And this is just a practice, guys. I know I should have used a guide there, but I was just cutting freehand. Just wanted to see how good I could do. You know, I'm cutting all sorts of names and logos there. I think this was something similar to the Spitfire skateboarding logo here. And just, I wanted some air holes in the side, some speed holes, just to make sure that that fire could breathe. And then I'm trying to use what I have laying around. So I've got some old rebar dowels here that I welded up for the legs, and basically just freehanding all of this. It was really hard to measure or make anything level. So I was just guessing, testing, and re-welding. But try to make it strong and probably outlast me. That's for damn sure. So put the legs together, added some supports across the side there, and then I also got a sheet of this expanded metal that I made a grill for the top of one to keep the sparks in and also cook hot dogs and hamburgers probably. So there's nothing like fresh steel and the taste of hamburger meat on there. So these are going to go by my skating rink. If you don't know, I run a quite large skating rink for my kids, and it's basically a full-time job all winter. And we have friends over and stuff like that. So these will be a couple fire pits for the rink. There's my best signature there and a happy face. And there's a good look at the grill. Not too bad. I used flat bar. That's 1/4 inch steel by 3/4 inch like Whaler bar that I used for that grill. And yeah, these things are pretty sweet. It was a good way to chew up a Saturday, and spent most of the day building these. I also added a row of rebar around the top there just so it wasn't such a sharp edge. So when you fall and put your hand on it, you just get burned, not cut at the same time. So it's half as bad. And then, tested it out last night. These things work awesome. They throw the heat. They're nice and high off the ground, so they're going to be really easy to stand around and get warm in the winter. ODR life. Let's get it.